13-year-old Sarah Maynard was found bound and gagged but alive in the basement of a Mount Vernon home. Police arrested Matthew Hoffman.
They just kept torturing me and torturing me and torturing me. He said, if you try to escape, I'm going to kill you.
My assistant news director calls me and says, we're getting word that Sarah has been found. I need you to go to this location.
I was free. I know I was free, but I was so scared. I was just a scared little girl.
Matthew Hoffman remains in the Knox County Jail this evening. Her brother Cody, mom Tina, and her mom's friend Stephanie Spring are nowhere to be found.
I don't know if such people are.
This is a life or death situation. They need to be saved.
Sarah's taken to the hospital Sunday morning.
We saw this blood on the tile. We're like, oh my gosh.
Our team broke in and arrested Hoffman and recovered her. She's taken right to the hospital, and while she's there, then investigators go and talk to her to try to find out what she knows.
As we started telling people, Sarah's alive, Sarah's alive, Sarah's alive, the community is overjoyed. But then the following question is, well, what about Tina? What about Cody? What about Stephanie?
All right, Matt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat you down here real quick.
Hoffman's in custody and the interviews are beginning. So yeah, a lot of moving parts right now.
I feel the pressure of knowing everybody wants to know the answer to where their loved ones are, where Tina, Cody, and Stephanie are.
We wanted to know what happened to her. We were hoping that she had some information that would help us locate the other 3 people. We don't know if they're alive or dead.
Cody and I went to school, had a normal day at school, came home. He was like kind of rushing to the steps of the house. And I said, Cody, wait. So I had opened the door. Well, it felt like somebody was like on the other side of the door messing with the doorknob. And so when I had opened the door, I kind of like fell in a little bit. I looked down, went to take my shoes off and seen a pile of blood. I was screaming for Mom, nothing, didn't see Mom. Usually she had greeted us every day when we got home, and she hadn't been there. Well, the dog wasn't in his cage, didn't see the dog, hadn't seen Mom. So I proceeded to turn right, which is where the hall is, where our rooms were, and this man came out and grabbed me by my throat. I jumped through his arms, ran to my room, and when I got into my room, I seen blood everywhere. There's blood all over my walls and all over the floor. He busted the door open, and then he had the knife at my chest, which had blood on it. I don't know if Cody tried to run out the door, what he tried to do. And then the man put me over his shoulders, took me down in the basement, in the garage, and laid me face down and started asking me a bunch of questions if anybody was going to be coming to the house anytime soon. And I had said, yeah, my mom's boyfriend. Well, he started laughing. He tied my arms behind my back, tied my legs. And I said, ouch, that hurts. And he said, I don't care if your arms and legs turn purple. And then after that, he had picked me up, put me over his shoulder, took me back upstairs, put me in a sit-up position in the kitchen. And he got like a white towel, he put it in my mouth, gagged me. And then he put a towel over my eyes, tied it. So now I'm blindfolded. And then he put a pillowcase over my head and tied it. And then he had pushed me down, so now I'm face down in the kitchen, tied and blindfolded and gagged. He asked me if I could see, and I had told him that I couldn't, but it was white, so I could see a little bit. I could see that there was groceries still in the bags in the kitchen. It seemed like an hour or so, I don't know. It seemed like forever. I'd just been laying there. The only thing I was thinking was, hopefully somebody finds me. But I was so scared.
Water good enough for you?
There's 3 people that are missing. We found one person. We need to find them.
I think you know what we want to talk about. But we need to find some people. We have 2 of our lead detectives on the case. Obviously, we want to interview Hoffman and see if he'll tell us, what happened. Matt, can you hear me?
The clock is ticking because every person in law enforcement will tell you the longer that this drags on, the less likely that the people that they're looking for are going to survive.
He puts me over his shoulder and then takes me back down to the basement and then puts me in a vehicle. Before he blindfolded me and gags me, I had seen Stephanie's Jeep in the garage. And I was like, why is Stephanie's Jeep in our garage? I didn't ask nothing. I just had screamed for Mom, no response. And then he had said, if you ask about your mom and brother again, I'm gonna kill you. He had taken off out of the garage. He was driving really fast and really out of control. So I'm thinking where else is he gonna take me? Moving all over the place in the back, I'm suffocating pretty much. I'm blindfolded and gagged at the same time. I'm laying on my hands being tied behind me, laying on my back, and then my legs were tied. Then the car stops.
We gotta get this squared up, man. You know and I know. You want to talk to one of us alone, or do you want us both in here, or you comfortable with both of us being here? Matt? Matt, the sooner we get this moving, the sooner we can all move on. Finally, it became obvious that he wasn't going to say anything.
Matt, are you here with us?
We need to reconsider what we wanted to do next.
Matt.
I hear him get out of the car and shut the door. I talking to myself and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So somehow I knew, so I took my left shoulder and I put my head down and I tried to pull the blindfold down enough just so I could see a little bit. I sat up and I could see that we were at the baseball fields where Cody and I had played. A while goes by. I kind of can see a little bit that it was daylight and now it's dark, so I'd been laying there for a while in the car. So at this point, I don't really know what to do. Other than if he tells me to do something, I'm just gonna do it. That's the only way that kept me, alive. He then grabs me by the legs and then picks me up, puts me over his shoulder, and then put me in the trunk of another car. And I was squished. I couldn't move. He unblindfolds me, but I'm still gagged. And then he just starts driving all crazy and fast, and he says, if you make a sound, if you try to talk, if you make a sound and I get pulled over, I'm gonna kill the cop and then I'm gonna kill you.
I think we need your help and you need ours. He's like he's in a trance. He's just sitting there. And this goes on for hours. They're sitting there asking him questions, and he's not responding in any way.
Hi, Matt. I'm Joe Dietz. I'm a special agent with the New Hampshire Criminal Investigation.
Joe tries all the strategies. Phone call in front of him.
Sarah was wanting to find out what happened to her mother and brother, but he's just not having it.
Praying with him.
Sometimes in this world, in spite of whatever wrong we may have done, we have the opportunity to do something right for someone that we care about.
Staying silent, trying to use Matthew's own technique back against him. All of it to no avail.
Just give me a clue. I mean, say me the time. Say, okay, I'll tell you this, or I'm not going to say anything, so don't bother hanging around.
We have to assume that we've got to find these people ourselves.
We got Hoffman's ex-girlfriend's information. We felt that she may be able to assist us in terms of locations, places that she and Matthew had gone while they were dating that may lead us to the victims. Matthew was crazy about trees and he loved the woods. And a very typical date would be to go out on a Saturday to some unusual tree that Matthew had singled out from all the other trees and string guidelines up in the canopy of the tree, and they would lay in hammocks all day on a Saturday afternoon and listen to birds. She and I drove all around the county to all of the places that she could recall Matthew taking her and hanging out in these trees. With very little to go on, we're kind of looking for a needle in a haystack.
Going out the door now.
We're very frustrated now because we're not getting any information from Matthew at all that will help us locate these individuals. We don't know if they're alive or dead.
Eventually the car stops, takes me out of the trunk, puts me over his shoulder with all the blankets on top of me. I hear a door open, like a house door. And then sets me down and then tells me not to move. I was a super shy, quiet girl, so I didn't really talk very much. I'm super scared. I'm shivered up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. The only thought I have is this guy's gonna kill me.
One of the detectives tells us that he noticed that when Hoffman came in to be processed, fingerprinted and photographed, and a DNA swab taken, that there was a female deputy that he talked to and actually opened up a little bit to. And when I hear this, and it occurred to me that, well, maybe what we need to do is just to have a female come in and try to interview him and see if maybe he opens up to her.
I get the call from Harry that they want me to try to talk to him and interview him. I immediately know the stakes are very high, and this is going to have an impact on many people's lives, for good or bad, depending on what we get out of this. So it was very serious, and I knew that right away. We're trying to figure out how can we get him to talk? How can we, this is a very unique situation. I don't think I've ever come across a case where someone's gone without speaking at all and almost just not even present at all.
Hi, Matt. Hi, my name's Chris. I wanted to talk to you for a second if I could. Just gotta close the door. What are you doing?
We decided to put my hair up in a ponytail, and I went in with a softer voice. I was never cutesy and young. I was just trying to, he selected Sarah, 13-year-old, blonde girl that was wearing ponytail in her pictures. So it was just a thought to say, if we want to make him feel more comfortable, let's do that.
Do you go by Matt or Matthew, or you want me to call you something else? I don't want to call you the wrong name. Doesn't matter. What do your friends usually call you? Do they call you Matt? Okay, that's okay. All right. Like I said, you can call me Chris. I'd like to help you, Matt, and find out how you're feeling and what's going on.
I know everybody in the community is aware of what's going on in the moment. I know the entire police department is outside this door waiting to hear those infamous words of location and where they are.
I know you don't know me, but sometimes that can be a good thing, because sometimes it's easier to talk to someone you don't know.
As soon as we get into the house, takes the blankets off me, unblindfolds me, but I'm still gagged. And then he tells me to go, and I'm not sure where he wants me to go, so he just starts kicking me around. And so I'm army crawling, wherever he wants me to go, because I'm still tied. My hands are still tied behind my back, and my legs are still tied, so I can't walk. So we go into this bathroom, and all I see is just leaves and bags, like plastic bags, all around the bathroom. He picks me up and puts me on the toilet seat on my butt, so I'm facing towards the door. And so he gets down on his knees, and he's right in my face, and he's like, "Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Because too bad you're not eating." He just kept torturing me and torturing me and torturing me. He said, "If you try to escape, I'm going to kill you." He now leaves the bathroom, he shuts the door, and it's super dark. It's pure dark in there. I'm looking around, and I see a window above the toilet, and there was no way for me to get up there to get out. I'm gagged, my hands are behind my back tied, my legs are still tied. He busted through the door and said, "Come on, follow me." He picks me up, he tells me to follow him, he opens up a door. Don't no idea what the door is to. There was like a chest, like a wood chest. He moved that out of the way, told me to stand there and not move. He opened up the door. I see it's a basement. He pushes me, so I fall down at all the steps. And now I'm at the bottom of the step.
I appreciate that you were not in your head before. I just want to make sure you're still with me.
I've been talking to him for about 30 minutes, one-sided, just me talking. And then he all of a sudden puts his head up and starts speaking to me.
I wish I did something better. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Well, that can be worked through.
It is a relief when he finally says something.
I'm afraid you know what it was I did.
I want to reconnect with him and get him to start talking again. So I'm leaning over and I touch his knee to try to make a connection. And he reacted and sat straighter up and then started speaking again.
I don't know what those other people are.
What other people?
Who was those guys grilled me about yesterday?
He says, here's your bed. I wanted to make it comfy. And when I'm looking around, it's just a bed of leaves. Like it just leaves. And then the comforters I slept with every night at Mom's is laying on top of the leaves. I was super scared. And I said, why are the blankets that I slept with every night at Mom's, you know, every night I went to bed, those were the blankets I slept with, are laying on top of these leaves?
Leaves? Why the heck would he put leaves in his basement and force Sarah to sleep on those leaves? What kind of monster is this?
He is a weirdo. I mean, he really was a weirdo. Like, he sat in the trees. If you look back here in the tree, there's a hammock where he would sit and watch people. He's just different.
I'm afraid that what they're saying is true and that I'm some sort of a monster.
I don't think you're a monster at all.
With her rescue, we still want to remain optimistic that Tina, Stephanie, and Cody are alive, maybe being held against their will at some location.
I'm sure she still has some other fears of not knowing where her mom and her brother are. And that may be something that you can appease as well. And give her some peace.
I don't know how I could help her anymore now. That's what I mean, I don't know how.
He is saying that he's can't remember anything that's happening. He can't imagine that he had done anything like this before.
Stay with me. We can talk about something else. I just don't want you to go into your head. But if they're out there somewhere and can be helped, you're the key to that. So even if it's us going through the timeline to maybe stir your memory.
He's talking to me. He's communicating and connecting.
I appreciate you talking to me this long.
Thank you, too.
And you're kind of on the edge of your seat trying to just hold on to the fact that the next thing he's going to say is where they are.
If anything at all you think you can talk about that could help you and help us, help Sarah and her family.
Sitting there, I'm thinking, are they still alive? Can you tell me if they're still alive? Just let me know that. All we know for sure is that the clock is ticking and we are running out of time.
I asked where my mom and brother was, and I said, so how are we gonna get to school? He got very angry, and he's like, if you bring it up again, I'm gonna kill you. I'm sitting, and my arms are still tied behind my back. He pushes me down, and so now I'm laying down on the bed of leaves. And then duct tapes my legs together, so there's no possible way for me to move. He said he kidnapped me for ransom, that if I tried to escape, something about his buddies are gonna come get me, and he's gonna get away. I had no idea what ransom was. He had said that my parents had to pay him for kidnapping me. And so I was confused. I had no idea. You know, I was just a little girl. Had no idea. I was just scared. He didn't make me believe I was going home.
I want to help you. I do, Matt.
Matthew Hoffman is playing a game, and he's winning. He's keeping control of the entire situation.
He walks back up the steps. Don't know where he's going. And then he comes back downstairs and he has a bowl of cereal with milk and said that's what I had to eat. And then I smelled the milk and it smelled spoiled, so I didn't eat anything. He said, if you're still hungry, you have to eat a dead squirrel. So he had the squirrel in his hand. And so I was scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's he gonna do? Force me to eat it? So I didn't eat anything.
This coffee's kind of good. We can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're not gonna try and overpower me and take my gun or anything, right?
No, you might. If you want to, you can give it to someone.
Okay.
Let's go. I want to use the bathroom.
Gary?
Joe takes him to the restroom.
In the moment, there's definite excitement and holding your breath. Is he really going to say something to Agent Dietz? Is he not? Is this part of the game?
Ultimately, he has a conversation with Joe and tells Joe that he's dreaming and he's seeing these horrendous images in his dreams.
He says, I had this dream of what had happened. I will tell you where the bodies are. He did it. He killed 3 people. I will tell you where the bodies are, but only if you agree to kill me while we're out there.
Well, that's not going to happen.
It's a very sad moment. This is probably going to be a recovery and not a rescue. It just weighs heavy how important it is to find the bodies for closure for the families.
There was no window. It was pure dark, 100% dark. I'm laying there on the bed of leaves, and he, pulls my pants down. I'm so tied. And then he sexually assaults me with the knife laying on my chest. I just had my head turned the entire time. And then after that, he took the knife off me and then, put my pants back up. I just know it hurt. I just had the thought of it hurting. There's a knife laying on top of me. Keeps telling me he's gonna kill me. So is he gonna kill me? And then I was still laying there tied up. And then he had left, walked upstairs, and after that, I just had laid there. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if he gets me pregnant? What if I get pregnant and I have to have a kid with this guy? That is a thought I did have.
We know that our searchers have looked pretty much everywhere that they can, and we're not going to be able to find these individuals without his help.
This is your last chance right now to talk to us.
We're in the moment of knowing that we only have so much time left.
So, I mean, this is realistically our last opportunity.
You gotta think of your family.
And the lack of the media pressure also takes some of the other people that are, being affected by it. Sorry about that.
Okay. We're done. We apparently are told we are done.
Disappointment because I didn't get the answer that I wanted. You didn't get the people back. So you just kind of sit back and breathe that in, and you have to kind of live with it in the moment. He enjoyed playing with us, and he enjoyed having us basically beg for information and him be able to say inside, I'm not giving it.
But he's got the death penalty hanging over his head. The prosecutor approaches Hoffman's attorneys and says, let's talk about maybe making some kind of a deal here. We're willing to drop the death penalty in exchange for Matthew giving us a statement about what happened. And at that point, Hoffman's okay with dropping the death penalty. So the understanding is he has to give us a written statement about what happened, and he also has to draw a map of where we'll be able to find the remaining 3 people. He says, you got to go out to Kokosing State Park. There's a tree there that I'm very familiar with, and he puts it on the little map that he draws. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I get in the car with the sheriff, and we have the other investigators following behind us, and the sheriff and I follow the attorney that's got the map. We drive out to Kokosing State Park. We get out of the sheriff's car. We walk up to the attorney, and he goes, I think that's the tree he's talking about. And we're looking, and sure enough, it's about 60 foot tall. It's a beech tree, and about 30 feet up, you can see that there's a hollowed out point in the tree. And we're going, son of a bitch, this might be truthful. So now we're at the base of the tree, and I'm watching as one of the crime scene guys, he's cutting a square into the tree, and he has this pole with a mirror on it and attached to the end of it, and he sticks the pole in, and at first he's looking up the tree and he doesn't see anything, and then he adjusts the mirror, the pole, and he's looking down, and he goes, I see garbage bags. We're like, you gotta be kidding me. He really did this. He really did this. We lay a tarp out on the ground, and we're all gathered around as the 2 crime scene guys are lifting the garbage bags out. All of us are thinking at this point that what is really in those bags? Are they really body parts? We gather around the tarp, and the 2 crime scene detectives were watching as they pull one bag after another out. They pull 7 garbage bags out. Now they're laying on the tarp. And we're all gathered around, kind of quiet and like shaking our heads and just in disbelief, I think. Nobody's really saying anything, but once we have all 7 bags out, there's a sadness there that we're all feeling, that this is really family members, of our missing people. Awful, awful situation. I think all of us have seen some horrific things before, but I mean, this is still shocking to see this. I think it was just awful what had happened to these nice people. What kind of an animal would do this?
Today, this investigation took a major turn.
Sheriff Barber gets up, and he, in his own calm way, of saying that, today we were able to locate the bodies, and unfortunately, they're deceased.
We have discovered and recovered the remains of Cody Maynard, Stephanie Sprang, and Tina Herman.
And I don't think there was many of a dry eye at the press conference.
I felt for Sheriff Barber because I could tell during his press conferences, he was also getting emotional, about it as well.
We're inspired by Sarah. We're inspired by Sarah's bravery. I asked Larry Maynard to convey to Sarah, to tell her that she was my hero.
I just broke down. I started crying. I'm glad and thankful I didn't have to see that. They'll never be forgotten, and I will always love them tremendously. What I would do to be able to say that I loved them one last time.
As a journalist, you're taught never to show emotion. However, in this case, when the sheriff says the 3 bodies of Tina, Cody, and Stephanie were stuffed in a tree in a garbage bag, I am pissed. I'm angry, and I'm heartbroken, just because that's not any way a person should die, let alone 3 people.
I'm walking down the hallway, and I can hear Sheriff Barber sobbing inside his office. And I give it a little bit of time, and I knock on the door, and I go in, and I say, "I love you, brother." And I said, "Good job." I said, do you need anything?" And he said, "No, I'm all right." After this case, I got a phone call from somebody who told me that Sheriff Barber had committed suicide in his home. And that was a shocker, because Dave to me was, not only a friend, but, he's kind of happy-go-lucky guy, and just so nice to be around. And to know that he ended his life just was shocking.
Sheriff Barber took his own life. And we don't know why that happened, but I can't help but imagine that some of what we went through that week probably took a toll on him.
Matthew got the plea deal he made, which was in cooperation of, given the location of the bodies, the death penalty be taken off. So he didn't get the death penalty. So he just got life in prison, which makes me happy, because I feel like that piece of shit needs to suffer. I think that he needs to rot in hell for the rest of his life.
My daughter is a high school history teacher at East Knox Local High School. Cody would have graduated in May of 2018. So East Knox holds their graduation ceremony on their football field outside. And my daughter was there that day. And as she is walking across the field, they're preparing for graduation. There's a chair at the front of the seating area for students with a purple cap and gown. Sorry. There's a cap and gown draped across a chair with Cody's diploma and a white rose. And it totally blew me away. It hit me like a ton of bricks because I'm, years removed from this thing, and wow, I just it was just surreal. It was a reminder that we all did a good thing here in Knox County, and the bright spot of all of this is that there's a young lady who survived. Just proud to be able to say that I had a small part in doing that.
If Cody was alive today, I think that me and him would have a serious bond. And the innocent little boy that he was then, saying that he wanted to be in the Coast Guard, I think today that he would be saving people's lives. I think that he would be super successful as a straight-A student, so I think he would even be in college or graduated college.
This is a case that you never let go of and always think about. I have no doubt that if we would not have found Sarah, she would not have made it through this situation. I believe that first he would have kept Sarah for as long as it was pleasurable to him to keep her. And this would not have been the last time that he did this, because he got a taste of it and realized he could get away with it. And he would have continued doing these things again, one way or the other.
Hoffman is in prison for the rest of his life in Toledo, Ohio. And I looked up his anticipated date of release. It was 01/01/8888.
I think the way that I grieve from my mom and brother being gone is that I realized that Mom and Cody wouldn't want me to sit here and suffer every day of my life, but knowing that I am the only survivor of it, and it hurts, knowing that I couldn't be the save of the day, and, there's nothing that I could have done, so I can't feel guilt. But my mom would not want me to take the easy way out either. She wouldn't want that for me, knowing that my children need me. My kids is what saved my life from not taking the easy way out. So it makes Sarah Maynard the strong-willed woman that she is today, to be able to say that she is the sole survivor, because I believe not very many people could go through such a thing and still be standing here as strong as I am today. I just try to live day by day and just simple goals just to raise my kids every day, and just for them to be happy, then I'll be happy.
If you or someone you know has been affected by any of the issues raised tonight, please go to channel5.com/helplines for information and support. With an unprecedented glimpse into what goes on behind the scenes of the investigation, murder scene, the incident room, tomorrow at 8. More true crime next.
He's got damage, he's got damage.
Go unit! Stay still!
Derbyshire traffic cops.
It does have warning markers for potential firearms.
Turn over! You're under arrest. Intent to supply class A drug.
Police 1,000 square miles.
It's a crash.
You got any other injury other than your head?
With some of the UK's most dangerous roads.
How nobody's been killed out of this, I don't know.
Do you know how fast you were going?
It's scary when stuff like this happens.
In life and death situations.
Get on the ground, you'll be tased! We've got runners. Face down!
Yes, successful sting.
Around every corner.
Great acting, mate.
There's a new challenge for the traffic cops.
Step out of the vehicle now!
Stay there.
Stop grabbing me like that.
Coming up.
Get out of the car! Get up the stairs!
Cracking down on drug gangs.
This is the largest amount that I've ever seen or had any dealings with.
I'm just the driver.
So stop.
Ruling through fear.
I just had one criminal have a knife in my back.
And the dealers.
You're being detained on the Section 23 of the Mischief Drugs Act.
Cashing in on the victims.
Police!
From an A2 units, looking at this vehicle on intelligence, the suspects of this vehicle, they are linked to drug supply.
Let's go 19.
Go ahead.
Yes. I'm about 2 miles from north.
With drug seizures on the rise, officers like PC Craig Dawes are out targeting drug runners.
The drug trade is really, really significant. I think it's become a big problem. It appears now that the amount of drugs that's being seized, the ease that drugs are available, the vehicles that we're stopping that's containing drugs, it just seems that it's part and parcel of life now, and it's quite openly there.
Vehicle is being followed, M1 northbound, forward stop, input stop on it.
Leicester from Derbyshire traffic, Oscar Tango 19.
Yeah, Oscar Tango 11. Vehicle is between 4 and 4 Hatton Junction as we speak.
Colleagues from other forces have got behind a vehicle that they believe is involved in high-end crime. The officers have got unmarked cars behind it. They don't believe that they're being compromised. They're able to follow the vehicle quite closely. From Oscar Tango 19 Derbyshire, you have got myself, high performance, fully marked if I can assist in any way.
That's brilliant. Is there any possibility of a stinger site around there?
There's only the slip road, but it's very, very busy at this time.
Subject vehicles committed, M1 north. If the Derbyshire Mobile can get a stinger site, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I can wait at exit slip, and then if it continues, I can assist you. I think you've got an ALV as well behind me.
Do you want to take command of your resources onto your force area?
Yeah, 19, I'll take control if that's okay, then I'll put it on this channel and start putting some plan together.
Oscar Tango 31, I've just been tasked.
That's all my head, thanks.
Other units, including traffic cop Nigel Waller, are rushing to assist.
Yeah, I think we've got 2 units now, plus their units behind, so we could put a TPAC on. If you let us know when it's committed, we'll form up and drop in behind you. If you keep a running commentary.
We are on our way from Wakefield down the M1. For information, the securing traffic, solid, slow moving.
It's Friday afternoon, the volume of traffic through Derbyshire is really, really heavy. It will backlog very, very quickly. And, you know, you're thinking, what's going to happen here?
Derbyshire, so we've got ability to get one of our cars out, put a rolling block on. Yeah, 1-4, I can do that.
Yeah, I'll put the safety on after the tanker.
plan initially is to surround the vehicle and box it in. But with that option, you've still got a risk because you then bring in members of the public into play.
From Oscar Tango 1-4, block is on, M1 northbound. Oscar Tango 1-1, we are 2/3 of a mile. Preemptive tactics is the preferred option at this time. Should the vehicle fail to stop, then initial pursuit is authorised. Subject vehicle is committed, M1 north, passing the off-slip.
Yep, from 19, we are on the entry slip, waiting for you to call that you've gone past.
Yes, no worries. To lane 4 and 4, passing on slip 4 and 4. Subject vehicle moves into lane 3 and 4. Traffic is slowing significantly. Speed is 20 miles an hour. Yeah, your call then, and the Derbyshire unit is calling. I think it's appropriate to put a box on. Tango 1-1, subject vehicle has moved to lane 1 and 4.
It's going to be aware of our presence now because of obviously the marked unit. It's gone from 4 to 1. We need to get it on.
Tango 1-1, move up. Oscar Tango 1-1, subject vehicle is had. Oscar Tango 1-1, subject vehicle is now boxed in.
Get out! Get out of the car!
Get out of the car now!
Get out!
Go, get on the floor! Get on the floor!
Turn over! Get on the floor! Get on the floor! Give me your arms! Give me your arms! Cuff, Scuff, you've got him.
At the moment, you're in possession of intent to supply Class A drug. Right, we're on the side.
One,
pick up at the movement.
Yep.
Move your legs. Yeah.
Move your legs in.
Lunge.
Vehicle stop, no damage.
And
Well detained.
on your arse, and we'll get you. Right, you right now? You right?
Yeah, okay.
Good. We'll slow things down now. All right. But at the moment, you're under arrest. Right? What we'll do, turn the caution. Anything else that you see is evidential. All right. We'll get you off the motorway and we'll get you dealt with. Appropriately, all right?
I'm just a driver.
Hey, come on, let's get you up.
Right. 3, 2,
1. Up you go.
Right.
Is your what? This one? Yeah. Come on, pal.
Are you happy to move? Those cuffs all right, yeah?
Are they all right?
I've got a broken right shoulder, yeah.
That's his shed load.
It says 10.
It's 10.
As soon as the boots open, we realised that this is quite a significant amount of drugs in the back. We'll take this as well.
Turn my meter off, please.
NA from 19, I don't know obviously what's been passed. We're going to take this gentleman and his car so we can get the motorway opened again.
The officers move the suspect and his car off the motorway so they can be properly searched.
It's always difficult when there's heavy moving traffic and you're trying to get around the subjects going to and from. I think he was going to think about going, but luckily we all worked together, knew what we were doing and got the box on. One male detained, and it looks like a large quantity of drugs. He's got a lot of questions to answer. He's a suspect, but you've also got to look at is he a victim of cocaine? It does happen, and people do get bullied into it, and they rule with fright. Cocaine is something that we're finding where these gangs will target the vulnerable. That can be from basically befriending them to then taking over the flat or house where they will go and deal the drugs from, or being made to transport drugs up and down the country through fear of violence, and it's becoming more and more common. So what we do now is we need to get the vehicles off the motorway. That's the main thing. A motorway lane 1 and 2 at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon is not the ideal location to do any kind of business. So we'll get to the services and we'll sort it from there.
We'll put them in front, Stack. All right.
You're not so tight, please.
There you go. Put my fat finger in there, so plenty of room. Nothing sharp that's going to hit me or you?
No, sir, no. I'm just the driver.
At the moment, we've got to go through a process, all right? And that process starts here. So we're going to go to Ripley Police Station, where you're going to go to custody.
Don't sit me in a cell for ages. We're not. No, we'll try to.
Yeah, go in there, mate. Come on, sort it. All right.
Do they aren't benches?
The driver is being taken to custody for interview.
We've located a large cardboard box with 10 green packaging. I believe that packages now could be cocaine, with an estimated value of each block possibly £40,000 a block, which at this stage we believe it's going to be £400,000. Street value roughly it's been estimated it may be over £1 million worth on the street.
It's estimated more than £9 billion worth of illegal drugs are sold in the UK every year.
This is the largest amount that I've ever seen or had any dealings with through my time. Just shows you what is being transported up and down that motor on a daily basis, where, you know, you'd think it wasn't. You look at the car, does it stand out? You know, no, it's just a general bog standard car with that in the boot. You know, normally these cars on a Friday you've got your Aldi, Lidl and Tesco shopping in. It's instead we've got a large quantity of drugs that's been seized. So, you know, it's a great result.
Hello.
Coming up.
Where's your number plate?
A suspected runner on two wheels.
What's a motorbike making off to me in Derby?
Desperate to get away.
Into a park.
Yes, vehicle's failing to stop.
And more drug pushers.
One's alighted from the back.
Making a run for it.
There's another one out and running.
Putting users under threat.
So stop.
I've just had the knife in my back.
Later. So let's have a look at that.
With drug offences on the rise across Derbyshire, traffic cops like Andy Swift are looking out for suspects running drugs.
Hello. Where's your number plate, my friend? I'll send you. What's a motorbike making up to me in Derby? We're currently 55 miles per hour. Permission for pursuit, please.
Location 47.
On Bolton Lane, speed is currently 50 and a 30. DRA is low.
We get people riding on mopeds and bikes, driving around dealing drugs, and it is a countrywide problem. There's a massive demand for controlled substances, Class A drugs, Class B, Class C.
Could we get a local Stinger dog unit and potentially MPAS if possible? Pursuit, vehicle is right.
Sarah 4 towards you. Sarah 2 miles, continue at this time, please. Down the first West Street into a park.
The vehicle is currently going off-road into a park. Stand by. It's safe to continue. The vehicle is into the fields.
Thank you for that. Any units can start making their way down to Derby Road or Snazmore Lane, which may come out on that way. Fellow Lansway. Go to Fellow Lansway.
For information, the rider is wearing grey tracksuit bottoms. He's got a black puffer jacket on. He's a white male, I'd say early 20s, and he's got a black helmet. Full face.
Are you staying on this bit, Swift, in case he decides to come back?
I'm going to stay where I am, mate. Yes, that's my plan.
Drugs are the sole motivator for most crime. People who commit your burglaries, your shop thefts, theft of cars, commercial burglaries, most of it is down to pay for drugs.
And as soon as you stop one person who's at the bottom of the chain dealing drugs, someone has replaced them 3 hours later, just doing the same thing again. It's very difficult to catch these people because obviously they just go off road, but they're always worthwhile trying to stop.
There's probably a good 8 hours of the shift left, so let's see what else we can turn up.
Across town, traffic cop Sergeant Scott Riley is also on the lookout for drug runners.
I think drugs are a big issue everywhere, really. I can't really say whether it's any worse here than it is in other places, because obviously I've only worked in Derbyshire, but it's certainly a problem that's not gone away for my 22 years of service.
5 minutes later, he spots another suspicious vehicle.
And are you receiving Oscar Tango Sierra 4?
Dead.
1015 vehicle, check please at column number 2459. I suspect this will just be a bit of a boy race. Yeah, there's something up with this. Yes, vehicle's failing stop. Advance driver, pursuit T-Pack, DRA low at this time. Weather conditions are wet. Speed is 60. Right.
While Scott pursues the suspect, Andy and PC Dan Mitchell race to provide backup.
Units to respond. Possible stinger on.
Take it 4-7.
Yes, DRA still low on the brakes, on approach to the junction, and it is a left. Speed is 70. Can I have MPAS and Oscar Juliets, please, on approach to that junction?
Where are we best going?
Coming this way.
Right, and then a left.
We're going to go back to the main road.
Yeah, we're still within the estate. Yes, one's alighted from the back.
Stinger, please.
So another one out and running. I believe now there'll just be one driver in the vehicle. So stop. Another unit to me, please.
Where are you?
I've just had a knife in my back. Telling me to go.
Safe and well detained.
I've just had a wanted criminal that's had a knife in my back. I'm not giving you no trouble. I'm not giving you no trouble. That's why I stopped for you as soon as you got out.
1015 person check, please. 2459.
Oscar Charlie 15.
Quite a bit of arrest history, controlled class A, heroin, crack cocaine.
Yeah, lovely. I would suggest that's what his friends were doing. You been drinking tonight?
No.
I can smell alcohol in your breath.
Can you?
Yeah?
There is supposed to be a slow. Stink.
There's some dealers.
Really?
Told me to get him away far enough. But you've seen me let him out, surely.
Pump's here around the end of the tube. Go on, can you expect to take stop? Keep going. Hang up.
Otherwise we're doing 16 statements.
The driver's under the ego limit. Right, of course you passed the roadside breath test, but because of the manner you're driving, I suspect that you're under the influence of something. I can also smell cannabis. So my colleague's going to do a drugs test on you, all right?
So there's a large machete in the back of this vehicle.
Oh, that'll be what I had in my back.
Okay, so you're saying you're under duress to drive like that, do you?
He told me if I didn't get him far enough away from you to jump, he was going to stab me. That's why, as soon as they got out of the car, I stopped.
So what were they doing in your car then? How did they get in your car?
I was just about to score off them.
What I suspect that they're doing with him is he's a drug user. They will be using him to drive them around Derby because he's insured, he's got a licence. They will be doing their deals, they will be delivering their drugs to anybody in Derby. It's like a bit of an Uber for the drug dealer, really. And they will just slide him his drugs free of charge for his night's work.
While Dan waits for the results of the drugs wipe, Scott deals with the driver.
At this moment in time, I'm arresting you on suspicion of dangerous driving, failing to stop for the police, possession of an offensive weapon and possession of cannabis. And you'll go to Derby custody and then you'll be interviewed, and everything that you're saying about being under duress, you can tell us on interview, all right?
As you can see, cannabis and cocaine, there's a red line on the control line and then there's a red line on both the test lines, so it's positive for both. So go and have a blood test now back at custody.
Drug driving's a big problem, but we've now got kits where we can test whether a driver's showing positive for cannabis or cocaine, and the hit rate on it is startling, really. I'm further arresting you for driving whilst under the influence of a controlled substance.
A search of the car raises suspicions further.
There's the QC knife in back, Dan, if you want. Oh, we've got another one.
Oh.
Well, these combat knives, don't they? There's two knives. That was on the floor on the rear side and near, so passenger side. It's probably about, I don't know, blade's probably about, what, 15 inches long, maybe? And then there's another one, another combat knife, and that's probably about, what, 12 inches probably. So I'm sure if they were to be used on you, you won't come out very well. So I think they call them, some potentially zombie knives, I'm not really sure, definitely combat knives. It's horrendous to think that they're on the street. They've got no need to have those. There's only one reason, that's to obviously to hurt someone or to intimidate someone. That's all it's there for.
I don't say this often, but I believe him. One's ran out, then another one's ran out, then he's stopped, and there is a big knife in the car.
Yeah. They're going to be trying it. And he's herring you, isn't he? They'll be cuckooing, won't they?
Yeah, they'll be just running him about to deal the drugs, hence why there's a deal of cannabis on the back and a bit of money.
And he's stopped.
And a big knife, and then he's stopped when they've run off. He's clearly a drug user. Possession of those knives and the failed stop, I would suggest that's going nowhere because they're not his knives. I wouldn't suggest. I would believe that they're the lads that were in the back. And if they're saying that we're going to kill you if you don't do this, then who wouldn't?
The people at the top of the drugs trade are just exploiting people, from the low-level dealers to your drug users. It's the people at the top are the ones that need to be targeted. And I know they do get targeted, but more often than not, it's the people at the bottom that fall. Cannabis is there, a very small amount. Not a huge deal whatsoever. So I imagine that whatever drugs they did have on them, they probably ran off with the other two that were in the car. And obviously they'll find some other poor victim to drive them round and deal the drugs as the circle unfortunately continues.
We've got it. We've got the vehicle.
Coming up.
Scratch. You're being detained under Section 23 of the Mischief Drugs Act.
Derbyshire's road crime team hunt down a suspected dealer.
Police! Police!
Scotty, do you want this phone?
Drug dealers really don't want us to have access to their phones. It is bright daylight, so we haven't even got the cover of darkness to assist us at the moment.
Millions of pounds worth of drugs are trafficked around Derbyshire every year.
There's nothing there, is there, to give us any kind of cover? Not down there either.
PC Nick Lovett and the road crime team are tasked with cracking down on dealers.
Our main work on the unit is drug related. These individuals are dealing controlled drugs within Derbyshire. We will actively hunt these people down. Persistence and patience is key in our role. We're given a tasking and we won't stop until that tasking is complete.
Even though we are in plain clothes, in plain cars, and there's persons on the unit that have worked this area as a beat area before coming onto the unit, so we're all quite well known for some reason.
Nick and the team are responding to intelligence about a local suspected dealer.
We get information linking this individual to the supply of controlled drugs believed to be Class A drugs within the area of Ripley and surrounding areas.
The main aim of the game today is to go out, locate him, stop him, search him, and see what we find on him.
Yeah, Victor 4 will find a plot location. Is that plot location near Vex Crescent?
Yeah.
Sergeant Luke Christian and PC Dave Bull are also on the lookout.
The individual is linked to certain properties in the Ripley area. We know he has access to certain vehicles. Those are the main source of our attention.
The vehicle we're looking out for, one of them is a Nissan Qashqai and the other is a Ford Transit Connect. We'll just try and get as close to him as we can in plain clothes and plain cars and jump on him before he can run. The challenges that we'll face where we want to be looking is staying undiscovered really by the locals. We have to look in an area and we have to judge how long we can reasonably stay in the area for. Hey mate, it's Nick. I'm literally on plot. Where do you want me to cover, mate?
Just park up out the way of each other, somewhere around there. You've got to follow us for.
It will do, mate. Will do.
But after 4 hours, there's no sign of the suspect.
He lives to fight another day, doesn't he? But he will come at some point. We have to get lucky once. He has to be lucky every day he goes out with a load of drugs, so.
We have to go again another day.
We've got 4 unmarked cars out. Yeah, it's just a case of flooding the area with police cars and trying to find him.
And that's just how our work is. We don't give up.
There's no sightings of the van or the Qashqai. We're standing it down.
Day 1, nothing. Day 2, still nothing. Day 3, again, drawn a blank.
He lives to fight another day.
We will go again, and again, until we've stopped the person who we need to stop.
The plan is on a rainy Wednesday, we're back out looking for the same lad that we've been looking for the last couple of deployments in Ripley. We're back out with 4 unmarked cars to try and locate him, see if we can get him stopped.
And here we are on day 4, going again.
You have to be a little bit patient, not force it. You can get a little bit downhearted when day after day after day that you don't get a result, but when you do get the result, it makes it all better. Sky, I missed a little bit of that. What have you got, mate? We've got it. We've got the vehicle.
One of my colleagues has seen the subject vehicle turning into the car park and into a parking bay.
Hey, right.
I'm good.
How's it going?
All right, mate.
Okay, mate.
What's crack?
At this moment in time, you're being detained under Section 23 of the Mr. Drugs Act for the purpose of search. Information linking you and the vehicle to the supply of controlled drugs? Yeah. Okay. Obviously, the objective of the search is to find out if you're in possession of any controlled drugs or not, okay?
I've literally just been and bought some, mate.
You've just been and bought some?
Where is it?
In the middle here. In the middle?
Yeah.
Where?
In that egg thingy.
In
that egg thing? Yeah.
Right, I'm going to hand you over. Yeah, I've got all of them. Where is it?
In the middle, in the egg.
Okay.
A little Kinder egg.
In the egg. What is it?
Pardon? What is it?
Cocaine.
It's not uncommon to offer an amount up, so we're always cautious as to whether they've offered that up knowing there is another further amount, and they hope that we will just take what they've offered up and leave and not search properly. Well, that certainly isn't the case with us.
How much is it, mate?
6, I've just bought.
Okay. And I'll be honest with you, mate, you're going to get locked up.
I know, yeah, I agree.
I'm going to search your house.
Yeah.
There's nothing in your house.
No.
You sure?
I've got nothing, no.
Your phone?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, what's the PIN number to?
Not telling you.
Not telling us, okay, fine. Just to let you know, okay, at this moment in time you're under arrest on suspicion of possession of intent to supply Class A controlled drugs. No. Okay?
How long have you been technical?
It'll be a while, mate. Okay.
Yeah. A Kinder egg, which contains a quantity of little small dealer bags of white powder, which he's saying is cocaine. So he's off to custody, and now we're going to go and do a search at his home address. A little bit of time is of the essence, really, because he's quite well known, so we need to get to the address quite quickly. We're in, no issues. Bit of a result that we've been to have to put the door in. There's a female and 2 children in there, so we have to be mindful, obviously, of not scaring the kids and things. And yeah, we've got a job to do, but obviously we don't want to scare the kids, do we? So we'll go and start searching and stuff. Get it done as quick as we can.
We are looking for anything drug related, anything to prove the individual's linked to the supply of controlled drugs.
Scotty, do you want this phone?
We locate a mobile phone. Mobile phones can be key to us within the investigation, and a lot of drug dealers and drug users really don't want us to have access to their phones.
Oh, we're all done in there. Just got to do the cash card. Very clean, very tidy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want us to go in before you get there? We're going to a linked address that we've also got a warrant for, so we're just going on to that address quite quickly, really. Probably not as fruitful as we'd hoped, but there's certainly items of interest in there. Found a phone, hopefully that's linked to him. What number? Is this it? Yeah? Police! Police!
We're there to prove or disprove the information that we're getting. That these individuals are actively dealing controlled drugs from properties on the streets within Derbyshire.
Nothing further is found at the second address. Nick and the team return to base to check in the evidence.
We found a quantity of drugs, mobile phones. When it's all pieced together, I believe that it will prove his involvement in supply of drugs. Persistence does pay off. Keep going and going and going, and that's down to the team's work ethic and drive to be taking these individuals off the street.
He's then failed to stop for us and thrown out them 5 bags of white powder.
Coming up, a suspect tries to ditch the evidence.
We suspect it to be Class A, possibly crack cocaine.
Drug test, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the test line, you can already see there's a line coming up.
No, you can do it.
No,
me,
that's
no,
fine.
never do it.
Yeah, you contact the vehicle.
Yeah, no worries. I'm quarter of a mile from junction 26, so I'll not be long.
Near Derby, PC Andy Swift is responding to a call for backup.
There's been a report earlier on of a vehicle that's made off from some Amber Valley divisional officers where they've stopped it, and then when they've got out, it's drove off and it's thrown a load of packets of white powder in. So I'd imagine it's probably drugs related. Doesn't take a genius to work that out. I think by pure chance they've located it again, and it's actually been located, I think, parked up. Good skills, everyone. Thank you. Hey up, mate, you alright? We just come across it. It's quite good news, isn't it, mate?
Not liked it?
No, I know.
Yeah.
Is it you it failed to stop for earlier on?
Yeah.
Was it?
We'll have the car, but I think it'll need a proper search.
Do you want to shift this if we've got a key? We'll go up to Screwfix.
With the car on a busy road, officers decide to relocate to a car park to search it properly.
Want me to drive that?
Yeah, if you want, and then we'll just all go up in convoy. How's that?
We got keys for this?
Mate, it's here on the dashboard, I think. Yeah, we'll follow you up. So we're just going to go and drop the car off for a better location.
If the car's believed to be involved in drug dealing, obviously we've got the power to search it, and we're going to search every inch of that car to try and find the evidence that we need to potentially end up prosecuting someone. We don't want to let anything get past us.
So we were driving along, a vehicle's gone past us at the junction, high rate of speed, so we've gone behind it with the intention of stopping it and wondering why it was going so quick. He's then failed to stop for us and thrown out them 5 bags of white powder from the driver's window. We've then managed to locate this vehicle in the next town over and secure the driver, and he's currently arrested and pending interview. We suspect it to be Class A, possibly crack cocaine.
No further drugs are found.
Has he got any insurance or No.
But now they need to check whether the suspect is driving legally.
Have you got proof of it with you?
What is proof?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you just give me this one and I tell you in my
No.
mail.
Have you got a policy document? Have you got access to a policy document? You've got one,
if you let me to
yeah.
find
No,
it.
not at the moment, but I'm saying you have got one.
Yeah.
And have you got a licence?
I have Albania license.
Have you got it with you?
No, it's not with me.
That's bad news then, because how do we prove you've got a licence?
I'm going to require you to provide me a specimen of saliva, okay? Because I've got reasonable suspicion that you might be under the influence of drugs. So, I'll perform a roadside drugs test, okay?
Drug test, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick your tongue out, like that. And I'm going to scrape this on your tongue, okay?
Okay. You can do what you want, bro.
So this test for cannabis and cocaine.
Okay.
He's been subjected to a roadside drug test. I think people don't realise how long it stays in your system, and I think it's so much more prevalent nowadays. I think a lot of people who would not drink drive don't realise that they are drug driving.
Okay, so it'll take about 10 minutes to work.
Okay.
And we'll see what the results are, okay? Yeah, do you want to come sit in their car for us?
My car?
No, their car.
My car. You come to the police station.
Police station?
Yes.
Why?
You're under arrest.
Arrest?
Come on.
Why arrest?
Yes, you want to put cuffs to the rear though, just.
Yeah.
But I've just got cuffs on straight away as soon as they.
Why?
Sure.
Can you tell me?
Jump in then.
Yeah, jump in.
Hold the seatbelt for me.
Tell me why you say me arrest.
We'll tell you again at custody, but it's been explained to you.
I've seized both his mobile phones and drugs. I think that goes without saying.
Starting to show up a line. Already, as you can see.
That's yeah.
So if you want to further them, because it's positive.
So it's 1854. The further under arrest on suspicion of drug driving. Okay.
No drug driver, bro.
So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm the defence when questioned. Something they found court, and if you say they've given evidence, So on the test line, you can already see there's a line coming up.
No, you can do it again,
So
but
what-
maybe
so-
it's wrong.
No, that's fine.
Never do it.
So what happens, you'll go to your police station, and they'll do a further test, an evidential test, to determine...
You can do every test, but that one
that's
maybe is
fine.
wrong.
So they'll do that at custody. This is just a preliminary test at the roadside, and they'll
That
do
one
an
maybe is
evidential
like
one
a
at the
pregnant,
police
bro.
station, okay?
Put it first
Lovely.
one.
He's failed a drug swipe, he's got no licence, he's suspected of not having any insurance, and he's failed to stop. Coupled with the fact that obviously there's been drugs thrown from the vehicle, so he's the type of person that is going to basically cause carnage on the road.
With more than 200,000 drug offences recorded across England and Wales every year, the police are clamping down.
The use of cartelised drug supply is massive, and it is a countrywide problem. It's very easy money. You can see why people who haven't got much in life, like a lot of these unfortunate people haven't, do what they do.
Ideally, we'd like to take out the top people, but to get near anywhere like that is proving difficult. So you tend to target your kind of medium criminals involved in it, maybe the ones that are being used as mules to move the drugs around the country.
They've been fighting the war on drugs for many, many decades before I was born, and they'll still keep fighting it. It's all well and good the police doing our bit, but you're scratching the surface. And as soon as you stop one person who's at the bottom of the chain dealing drugs, someone has replaced them 3 hours later, just doing the same thing again.
For every car that we stop, there's probably 10 that manages to get through the net and goes on to deliver and makes a lot of money out of it. But if we just rolled over and gave up and said, well, we're fighting a losing battle, then what's the point? So we'll always try his best. And even if we take one car out, at least it's one car that's not then going on to sell drugs or ruin somebody else's life through crime.
In this episode,
Vehicle in South Oxford.
Get out of the car! Go! Get on the floor! Get on the floor! Cuff, scuff, you've got him.
the driver caught transporting £1 million worth of drugs
I'm just a driver. Right.
was remanded in custody.
This is the largest amount that I've ever seen or had any dealings with.
At court, he received a 30-month prison sentence for drug dealing.
Hello. Where's your number plate, my friend?
The rider on the electric bike
The vehicle is into the fields.
was never traced.
So stop. Call the unit to me, please.
The suspect, who claimed he was being exploited by armed drug dealers,
I've just had a knife in my back.
was arrested for dangerous driving, failing to stop, possession of an offensive weapon, and possession of cannabis.
Oh, we've got another one.
But released without charge.
That'll be what I had in my back.
And no action was taken for drug driving.
Sir, you've been detained.
The man the road crime team arrested was found guilty of drugs possession and cannabis supply.
Where's it?
In the middle, in the egg, in the little Kinder egg.
He received a 12-month suspended sentence and 200 hours unpaid work. And the driver who allegedly failed to stop for police and threw drugs out of the car.
So this test for cannabis and cocaine?
Starting to show up a line. Already?
No, you can do it again,
So
but
what-
maybe
so-
it's wrong.
No, that's fine.
Never do it.
Remains under investigation while police await the results of further drugs tests.